in Cleveland. Two of the American League's nastiest gunslingers take the hill in this pitcher's duel. Justin "Bat" Masterson, who has been the Indians' most dominant starting pitcher, takes on the fastest gun in the AL. Justin Verlander, who has been arguably the most dominant pitcher in all of baseball. So clear the streets, grab a front row seat, and enjoy this Old West pitcher's duel with a pair of aces next on Sports Time Ohio. It's another great cloudy day in downtown Cleveland as the Indians wrap up the homestand, trying to salvage the finale of this three-game series against the Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. When you look forward to the schedule and you see the matchups, this is a game we've been looking forward to ever since we saw it was going to be Justin Verlander versus Justin Masterson, because quite simply, they're two of the very best pitchers in the American League. You've got Verlander on the hill. You've got to be at the top of your game offensively.
No question about it. And Justin Verlander, a no-hitter to his credit this year, but look at his rankings around baseball. First in wins, second in ERA, and first in everything else. Innings pitched, 224 strikeouts. He gives up very few hits. He's got 3+ pitches, a fastball, a good curveball, a great changeup. He can also mix a slider in there if he wants to. I don't know. I don't think he needs it. He's been very good against the Indians this year. 2-0, 169 earned run average.
Our pitching matchup brought to you by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. On the other side, Justin Masterson taking the ball for the Tribe, and with any run support at all, he could have 16, 17+ wins right now.
Well, Justin has had a career year for him. He really settled into becoming a starting pitcher for the Indians this year. He has dominated, predominantly going with the fastball. He moves it in and out, an occasional slider here and there. And you're right, if he can get a little help from his friends, and hopefully early, there's no question he can match up with Justin Verlander. You can see second in wins with 11, first in ERA, innings pitched, strikeouts. He has been very, very good for the Indians this year.
So hits, runs should be at a premium here this afternoon in this series finale as the Indians try to get one from Detroit. We're back with all the play-by-play action. It's coming up shortly with the starting lineups right here on Sports Time Ohio. All right, we're ready for baseball here at Progressive Field. The Indians have taken the field. Justin Masterson making his warm-up tosses. Let's quickly take a look at Jim Leyland's starting nine today for Detroit. Austin Jackson in the leadoff spot, followed by Will Rhymes, then Andy Dirks, followed by Miguel Cabrera, Victor Martinez, Alex Avila, Wilson Bettamy, Don Kelly, and Ramon Santiago.
All right, Justin Masterson makes his 30th start this year. He is 11-8, 292, a fine 292 ERA, 194 in the third innings. He should get over that 200 mark today. 143 strikeouts. Still looking for his first win in his career against the Tigers. He has made 3 starts against them this year. He's 0-1, a couple of no decisions, but he's pitched some pretty good baseball games, and he's going to have to get a little help from his friends today, matching up against Justin Verlander. Let's take a look at the Indians' defense, brought to you by Pat O'Brien Chevrolet, saluting the men and women defending our country on and watching on the Armed Forces Network. Trevor Crowe, his first start of the year in left field. Carrera in center, Fukudome in right. Chisenhall at third, Cabrera at short. Donald is at second, Duncan at first, Santana behind the plate.
Brian Gorman calling the balls and strikes. Tony Randazzo at first, Jim Wolf at second, Larry Vanover down at third. Overcast, some misting rain off and on all afternoon long in the forecast, and we are underway as Justin Masterson delivers and Austin Jackson fouls it out of play. 64 degrees, our game time temperature. Jackson flinches and takes a strike. Jackson has gone just 1 for 10 in this series. Swung on and missed. Masterson strikes him out to start the game.
Well, Justin didn't mess around. He comes right back with a high fastball above the belt, 95 miles an hour. Gets strikeout number 1 on our Time Warner Cable pitch tracker.
Here is Will Rhymes, left-handed hitter. 7 left-handed bats in the lineup for the Tigers today.
Left-handers on the year hitting .276 with 5 of the 7 homers given up off Masterson.
Rhymes takes a strike. It's 2-1. Tigers have jumped on the Indians early, especially lately in the series. Detroit, during their 6-game win streak against the Indians, has outscored the Indians 8-0 in the first inning, but more importantly in innings 1, 2, 3 on the season, they've outscored the Tribe 38-14. Injury report brought to you by Elk & Elk, serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. Josh Beckett suffering a sprained right ankle for Boston. He'll miss his next start. Andy Dirks takes a strike, 1 for 7 in the series for the left-handed hitting left fielder. Good pitch at the belt. It's 0-2. Speaking of Boston, they're 2.5 in back of the Yankees. New York won their 6th straight last night, beating Baltimore. They waited 4 hours until they started that game in the Bronx.
Yeah, I think it was over about 2:15 in the morning.
Swing and a miss. Masterson with his second strikeout, 2 down in the first.
Came back with a very nice slider here to the left-hander, and when you can locate that ball right there, it goes straight down. 81 miles per hour. Good break to it. It's not a strike, but you get the hitter to swing and miss. That's strikeout number 2 for Justin.
And it brings up Miguel Cabrera. And it's outside for ball 1. Foul tipped, evens the count. Tigers won the last meeting between the two clubs that was here at Progressive Field before sweeping the Indians in Detroit, and then they won the first two in this series. Boy, didn't miss by much. 2-1 the count.
Well, breaking ball, slider.
Oh,
where was it?
That's a strike.
Well, it sure looks like it.
Tap to second. Jason Donald steps on the bag. And the Tigers go quietly here in the top of the first. Indians coming to bat when we come back. Take a look at Maniac's starting lineup today. It's brought to you by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Ezekiel Carrera leading it off, then it's Kosuke Fukudome, followed by Asdrubal Cabrera. Carlos Santana, Jim Thome, and Shelley Duncan in the middle. Lonnie Chisenhall, Jason Donald, and Trevor Crowe activated from the DL, making his season debut for the Tribe here this afternoon, batting ninth.
Well, Justin Verlander making his 31st start, and I don't know what else you can say about him. You look at his numbers; he has just had a superb year. He started off March and April in his first 6 starts 2-3, but since that point he has been unbelievable. Decision in 19 straight starts. He has been in his last 9 starts against the Indians 8-1 and a 2.65 ERA. 21-5 on the year.
The 1-0 pitch. And that's down low. 2 balls, no strikes. Tigers have won 5 in a row, 9 of their last 12. To get to 80-62 on the year. Carrera taking a strike. It's 2-2. And Verlander deals. Fastball swung on and missed. Here's our great clip of the game from last night. About the only highlight the Indians had. Kosuke Fukudome with his second home run in as many games. The Indians' only run in last night's contest. Relax, your great clips. Kosuke Fukudome batting .287. He has scored 17. He has doubled 11 times, 3 homers. 15 driven in the 37 games he has played with the Indians.
And those numbers, of course, include a pretty slow start. He has been on fire in the last couple of weeks.
Well, yeah, his first week he came over, first 6 games was really slow. But, anytime you get traded to a new league, new organization, it's difficult. But, boy, it didn't take him long to turn it around.
Last 15 games hitting .339. That's in the air to left. Andy Dirks settles under it. 2 down.
Let's take a look at the Home Depot Detroit Tigers defense this afternoon behind Verlander. It looks like this. Dirks in left, Jackson in center, Kelly is in right. Benamit is at third base, Santiago at short, Rhymes is at second, Cabrera at first with Avila behind the plate. More savings, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
Asdrubal Cabrera. Just 1 for 8 in the series. Takes a look at a ball outside. Our Ion 4 Powerade rankings. Justin Verlander in all of baseball. 2 better than Clayton Kershaw out in L.A. with the Dodgers, who's having a very Cy Young-worthy season himself, 17 wins. I think it's going to come down to he and Cliff Lee in the National League. And Cliff certainly playing on the more high profile of the 2 teams in terms of wins and where the Phillies are headed. He also has 6 shutouts. 3-0 pitch. And a strike called. Now the 3-1. Fouled back out of play. There are very few, if any, hitters who get fat facing Justin Verlander. As Asdrubal Cabrera, 6 for 33 in his career. That equates to a 182 batting average. 13 strikeouts.
Yeah, he's only given up 154 hits in his 224 innings, for goodness sakes.
Swing and a miss. He strikes out a pair here in the first. No score after 1. Donald's, the mango pineapple real fruit smoothie has arrived. By your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. And by AT&T. Second inning here at Progressive Field, no score. Victor Martinez, Alex Avila, and Wilson Benamit for Detroit. Victor 3 for 8 in the series. 6 runs batted in. His 3-run homer was the big blow in game 1, and then yesterday a big 2-out, 2-run single in the first inning got to the Tigers offense off and running.
Yeah, he's been the culprit to get him going. And that just started him rolling last night. That was the end of Carmona after the 2-out walk. And then 6 straight hits.
1-1 the count. Slider over the outside corner. And it's 1-2.
Nice.
Struck him out with a tight slider over the inside part of the plate. And that is 3 strikeouts now for Justin Masterson.
I'll tell you what, when he looks like he has a very good slider. It's early in this ball game, but the last one was away. Wraps around the outside part. He tightens it up here, throws it inside off the dish, and you can see how he tied up from Victor Martinez. Very good location, 2 good sliders.
Well, if you're looking for one main reason why Justin Masterson has made a quantum leap from where he was a year ago to where he is now, it's definitely the development of that secondary pitch. And look, there are guys who have great fastballs that can survive, they can get by. But it's hard to be where Masterson and where Verlander are in terms of ERA this late in the year if you're a one-trick pony.
Well, I mean, he's been able to repeat his delivery game after game. He has walked fewer people. He's really been a lot of fun to watch.
Well,
develop.
And it all starts, as you just pointed out, it all starts with fastball command, and that was something that he struggled with early in the season a year ago. But once he harnessed that, then everything else has started to fall into place for him. Boy, close pitch, didn't get the call there. It's 3-0.
Well, we've had the opportunity just to witness every start that he has had. If he had any kind of run support, he could definitely, have at least another 5 or 6 wins.
There's a strike called. I went back and I went through and looked, and I'm thinking he could be sitting at 20 wins right now without stretching it, without saying a lot of things had to happen. Up the middle. Nice backhanded stop by Donald. Sets and throws and gets his man 2 down. Let's take a look now at the AT&T trivia question today. Since 2000, 3 pitchers have led their league in wins, ERA, and strikeouts in the same season. Only 3. We'll have the answer coming up later in the game. Wilson Betemit takes a strike. And off the plate for a ball to even the count. Betemit 0 for 3 in the series opener, did not play last night. Now the 2-1. Hit pretty well down the line. Long run for Trevor Crowe, and he slides, makes the catch. No, couldn't hold on to it, and it will be a foul ball. Boy, that was a heck of an effort by Trevor Crowe.
Well, you're going into that corner, and it is awfully tough when he's on a dead sprint. The only thing he could do is slide. We lost sight of him. So this is our first look at him. You look at the concentration on his face. That might have been a fair ball off his glove.
Now, hard to tell from that angle.
Well, it is. Yes, it is. But he was going so fast, and that's how you stop your momentum. You had to get down and slide. Good effort is right.
How about that for your first play out of the gate? Trevor had shoulder surgery 2 days before the Indians opened the season. Now the payoff pitch. Big bouncer to first. Shelley Duncan will go himself. The Tigers go 1-2-3. Middle of the second, no score. Not really much of a need for sunglasses today, but
yeah, there is.
He's going with the look.
It's bright in his world, and that looks good.
Bottom of the second, Carlos Santana, Jim Thome, Shelley Duncan due up for the Tribe. Carlos Santana 0 for 6 in the series. And Verlander's pitch outside for ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Missed inside with it. 2 balls, no strikes. Up high.
He's trying to get a feel for his fastball command early in this game, falling behind some hitters early.
Ball 4. It was close, but did not get the call. You saw Santana. Looked like he was waiting for Brian Gorman to call it a strike. Now the Indians had their work cut out for them today against Justin Verlander. With more on the game plan, here's Katie Witham.
Well, guys, I spoke with Indians hitting coach Bruce Fields earlier, and if you remember, he used to coach for Detroit for a few years. He told me what makes Verlander so good is his separation between his fastball and his changeup. Extremely hard to differentiate between because of his arm action. But the game plan today, now you got to make sure Verlander's on, which you mentioned, struggling with that fastball command right now. If he gets on, today's not the day to work the count. The key, keep it simple. He's going to try to use that fastball to get ahead early, so you've got to be aggressive on it, guys.
Yeah, and if you do get the fastball early, put it in play. You don't want to foul it off. As Drubel had a chance, had the count in his favor, he ended up coming back to get him on a 3-2 changeup.
Verlander deals, and Jim Thome takes low and away for ball one.
Yeah, he's throwing more balls than strikes, so he is having a tough time trying to spot that fastball. He has yet to throw a first pitch strike.
He missed inside 2-0. Well, as he is searching for it, you gotta hope that he makes a mistake in the fat part of the plate. And then you gotta take advantage of it.
There's one guy that can take him the other way. Changeup, how about that? When in doubt, you can't throw your fastball, come back with a 85-mile-an-hour changeup, 2-0. And that's about as high as you're going to get. You can't get it much higher than that.
Jim fouls that back out of play. It's 2-2. That ball's hammered to center field. Austin Jackson on the run makes the catch. Santana has to scamper all the way back to first. He was almost to second base.
Well, it looked like a base hit or a gapper off the bat, but this guy can cover some ground. He had a tremendous jump, and he just outruns the ball and ends up making the play. And while he's moving, Santana had to put the brakes on and come back. He got the ball down in Thome's zone. And watch, you think that ball's off the bat, it's going into the gap, but watch him close on it. Gets over there in a hurry, cuts it off, and that'll be out number one. He can really, I mean, over in Comerica Park, the spacious outfield that they have, he's fun to watch play center field.
1 on, 1 out, Shelley Duncan to the plate. Shelley 0 for 5 in the series. Verlander, a dozen balls, a dozen strikes so far. They appeal. He did not go, and down to second goes Carlos Santana.
7th wild pitch for Verlander. One of the first breaking balls that we've seen him throw today, and that one he bounced. Santana got a good read, took off. As Avila flips it out in front, but throws it way too far out in front. Santana gets himself in scoring position.
Curveball. And he drops it in for a strike, 1-2.
Came right back with another one to get a feel for it, and he drops that in the strike zone. So we've seen the changeup. He's been able to locate his changeup. Now he's trying to get a feel for the breaking ball, and he has had. There's another pitch that's up in the zone. And this is the first hitter he's been ahead in the count to this afternoon.
And then 1-2 is ripped foul. Tried to go in there with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and Duncan was waiting for it.
Well, after he puts a swing like that on his fastball, I think I have a feeling what's coming next, because there it is. Shelley turns on that heater, drilled it into the seats, foul. So he's sitting on number one. I'm looking for that hook to come now. Or possibly that straight changeup.
In the dirt. 2-2 the count.
Now Verlander just stayed right there, wants to talk to Avila.
Santana, who walked, went to second on a wild pitch. He's there with one out. Shelley Duncan with a 2-2 count. Justin Verlander lets it fly. And a curveball popped up and back out of play.
Well, that's up in your eyes. That's eye high. But he got a good look at it. He slowed it down. That was like a softball pitch, man.
Yeah.
Well, now's the time to get Verlander. He is not on his game yet.
That fastball drilled deep left field. Dirk's looking up. It is gone to Souvenir City. Shelley Duncan with a 2-run homer. His 7th on the year, and the Indians jump out front 2-0. So Justin Verlander struggling with his command here at the outset. He finally made a mistake in the fat part of the plate, and Shelley Duncan made him pay.
He sure did. He went from eye high to thigh high, and Duncan hit it out of here. This home run replay brought to you by Great Clips. Great needs, great deeds, and great clips. And look at that pretty swing. He battled up there. He gets on that fastball and hits it onto the home run porch. So the Indians will take the lead this afternoon, 2-0. Shelley Duncan, his 7th home run.
Now Lonnie Chisenhall, 0 for 7 in the series, takes a look at ball one. Fouled back out of play. Two balls and a strike. Right back over the screen. 2-2 with the bases empty and one out here in the second after Shelley Duncan got into a pitch from Verlander and drove it out of here.
Yeah, and the funny thing, he missed on the first pitch to Duncan, so it was, an 0-1 count. He hit, his first pitch strike, but Duncan able to get him, and that was the only batter he's been ahead in the count to.
Santiago, the shortstop, pulls it down, 2 away. Got to bring up Jason Donald. Verlander retired the Indians 1-2-3 in the first. But he's made a lot of pitches here in the second inning. And he's given up 2 runs now. As he misses ball one. He just can't throw a first pitch strike here today. Back out of play.
Well, he's on a 9-game winning streak. His last loss came the 15th of July against the Chicago White Sox, where he went 6 innings, 7 hits, and 5 runs. But now you get him when he is struggling. You get into some decent hitters' counts.
You know, probably not surprising that loss came against the White Sox in the division. And it's not that because you face them a lot, you're going to be that much more successful, but it removes some of the mystery. And, you're familiar with him. You know what's coming. He can still throw it by you, and he can still drop a hook on you and strike you out. But I would imagine, Rick, the more you see a guy, the more comfortable you are, and you're getting into the box and taking your hacks.
Well, you face him maybe 4 or 5 times a year, when you're in the division.
Out of play.
Matter of fact, 4 of his 5 losses this year have come from the Western Division. Texas, Oakland, Seattle, and L.A., the Angel. Everybody in that division beat him one time. The other one was the White Sox. That's hard to believe.
That's hard to figure.
It is, because they don't see him, and those are the lighter hitting teams. That's when exactly you look at the American League. But they were able to go out there, and for whatever reason, they put an L on him. But very few and far between.
The 1-2 broke his bat. Verlander will throw him out. Shelley Duncan with a 2-run drive to the home run porch and left has the Tribe on top 2-0. Stay tuned later in the game to see our Miller taste great in this moment.
That's Murph's aunt. Aunt Nancy.
Aunt Nancy.
Yeah. Taking the day, she's got his yellow slicker that he gave to her today before she came to the ballpark.
Murph, the Gorton's fisherman. Todd Kelly following it back out of play, 1-1 to count. He'll be followed by Ramon Santiago and Austin Jackson here in the third for Detroit. Slap foul into the crowd. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kelly 2 for 5 in the series. And out of play again. Pulled foul.
He's up there hacking, isn't he? He's putting him in play. He's pitching him away, fouling him off away. Tried to come in. He pulled one foul. And you can tell by the marks on that dark bat right there. He's hitting him from the label all the way off to the end.
Two and two. Back inside, full count. And the payoff pitch. Foul again.
This kid's having a good at bat.
Well, he's seen 9 pitches.
And 6 foul balls.
Bounce to first. Duncan lost the handle. Recovers and flips Masterson with good quick reactions to grab it for out number 1.
Well, a backhander, but I mean, he doesn't catch it cleanly. But it stays around the area, kicks in front. Masterson doing his job, getting over to cover, and an easy flip. A way to stay with it. He took a peek in there to see where he was at the line. Almost flipped it over the top of Masterson's head.
Santiago takes a strike. 3 for 8 in the series. He was thinking about bunting it, and he almost took one in the chest.
He almost, yeah, that's right. That's scary. You see that ball, you want to bunt, and all of a sudden you see it's coming right at your waist, and you get out of the way.
Too low, 3 balls and a strike. With 1 down here in the 3rd. And he's walked him. 2nd walk for Masterson. 1 on, 1 out now for Austin Jackson. Today's minor league report brought to you by Kia. Kelvin De La Cruz, the Indians' minor league player of the week at AA Akron. Punched out 6 and 5 1/3. Couple of saves. Boy, that was a good fastball. Threw it right by him. And it's 0-1. Good pitch, same spot. Jackson couldn't pull the trigger that time. And now he's down on the count 0-2.
Well, he elevated the fastball the first time. He was able to strike him out. See what he does here. It's worth a shot up around the letters above the belt.
Sinker down and in. He goes over the top of it. 4th strikeout for Masterson. 2 down here in the 3rd.
Well, now you're going to see some movement on this fastball from Justin. It just takes off. He gives him that one good one where you can't dig it out as a right-hander. You see how he has to try and pull those hands in, and he missed by 6 inches.
Will Rhymes walked his first time up. Steps in here with a runner at first and 2 down. Snap throw to first, and Santiago just did get back ahead of the tag of Duncan. Good throw by Carlos Santana.
Well, you have that left-hander in the batter's box, but that was no problem for him to get it around.
One on one the count. 50 pitches now for Justin. 29 have been strikes. Two and one. That evens things up. Hit on the ground. Chisenhall cuts it off. Unloads in a hurry to get him. We'll go to the bottom of the third. It's the Indians 2 and the Tigers nothing. Trevor Crow, Ezekiel Carrera, and Kosuke Fukudome will take their hacks against Justin Verlander. And a fastball strike to Trevor Crow. As I mentioned earlier, he had shoulder surgery just 2 days before the season began for the Indians. So a lot of rehab for Trevor Crow and then some minor league games to try to get his swing back. But he only had a chance to play in 11 games, and the minor league season's over. So
the unfortunate thing is this is a year where if Trevor was healthy, the Indians certainly could have used him.
No doubt about it.
He would have had a lot of playing time. Mm-hmm. But he had to rehab. But it's good to see him back. And, I mean, I'm sure for him, get back to this level and playing a big league game before the season's over, and I'm sure he'll get more to go. It'll be good for him going into the offseason.
Yeah.
I mean, just as a psychological point where, hey, okay, I felt good, and now I just got to work hard and get ready to come back for next spring. It's a long, hard battle when you have surgery to come back and play at the major league level.
Verlander strikes him out. That's 3 Ks for the Tigers right-hander. 1 down here in the third. Check in once again with Katie Witham.
Well, the Indians excited to have Jim Thome back in town, and for the remaining regular season's game, we have a special ticket offer for you. $25 will get you a lower reserve ticket and a $10 food voucher you can also use on merchandise. You can get all the information and get those tickets now online at Indians.com. Matt, Rick, back up to you.
Thanks, Katie. Here is Ezekiel Carrera, who struck out his first time up. And the pitch is up high for ball 1. He tried to jab at it. Larry Vanover said he pulled it back in time. It's 2-0.
I've seen that call before, but they said no, he was able to pull it back.
Took a big hack there, came up empty.
Yeah, this is his 10th hitter, and half of them at 5 have been 2-0 counts today. So we've seen this guy come out from the very first pitch and be on his game today. He's struggled a little bit. Time to get him. Throwing a ton of pitches early.
3-1 the count. Now Shelley Duncan tattooed him for a 2-run homer. So the only 2 guys he's allowed on base have both scored.
Well, that's what you want to do. He walks somebody, and then somebody hits a big fly, because he's not going to give you 3 or 4 hits in an inning. And that was the 21st homer that Verlander has surrendered this year.
He rings him up. That's 4 strikeouts now for Verlander. There's Brian Corman raising the right hand on Ezekiel Carrera.
Well, he comes back, and that little 2-seamer.
I don't know about that.
Well, when you got that guy on the mound and you're a rookie, he's going to get the benefit of the doubt. You're not.
Usually, though, when you see a catcher snap his glove back that much, generally the umpire doesn't go for it. But 2 strikeouts now in the inning. Kosuke Fukudome fouling it back out of play. Driven deep to center. Jackson back. He's there. And he makes the catch. Indians go 1-2-3. We go to the 4th. 2-0 Cleveland. Two-zip tribe. We go to the 4th inning. Andy Dirks, Miguel Cabrera, and Victor Martinez for the Indians. Dirks struck out his first time up. Justin Masterson into the line. He fires, and it's a little bit low for ball 1. 7 out of 12 first pitch strikes so far for the Indians right-hander. He's had 5 ground ball outs and 4 strikeouts. To Hopper to second baseman Jason Donald. 1 down. The Lexus Berea Report returns to STO tonight at 9. Andre Knott, Tony Grossi, and Doug Deacon will have the updates from Berea as the Browns gear up for the home opener Sunday against the Cincinnati Bengals. It's the Lexus Berea Report tonight at 9 right here on STO. Miguel Cabrera bounced into an inning-ending fielder's choice in the first. 2-0 the count. He shoots it right back up the middle.
That guy can flat out hit, can he?
He's one of those guys, and he's not alone. There are a lot of great hitters in baseball today, and certainly there have been many more who've played before. But you wonder, he's one of those guys, the harder you throw it, the better he seems to be. And you just wonder how hard you would have to be able to throw a ball to literally throw it past him.
Well, it's I don't know. He could throw it 110. He'd still catch
That's what
up
I'm
to
thinking.
it if he sees it. But I mean, he's a good breaking ball hitter. I mean, he adjusts. I mean, every at-bat is something different. You got to go at him differently in every at-bat and locate your pitch as well. And when you fall behind like Justin did, he fouled off a good 2-0 pitch to hit. Then he comes right back and hits that sinker back up the middle. He's a great hitter and makes adjustments.
First hit of the game for Detroit. Victor Martinez struck out his first time up. Two balls, no strikes.
Now you take into consideration too the way the Tigers are swinging the bat. They've been scoring, averaging 6 runs a game here for almost the last 3 weeks. They've been on fire. So that was just their first hit.
That's drilled deep to left. Crow back, looking up, play it off the wall. Played well. He's going to throw to third, though.
No, he had a guy at second. Trevor made a mistake there. Should have went to second base.
Victor Martinez able to get to second on that throw to third.
You know, I bet if he goes to second base, and you assume when that ball's off the wall like that as an outfielder, go straight back to second base because know your runners. Victor Martinez is at the plate. Try and keep that double play in order. He smokes that ball, and Trevor knew it was going to be off the wall. So he played it well. He just went to third base instead of going to second. And then that's when Victor cruised into second base. So back-to-back hits for the Tigers. He would have stopped if he goes to second base.
So second and third, one out for Alex Avila. Avila grounded out to second base his first time up. And a fastball for strike one. Avila checks, and it's low for ball one.
You know what has separated Justin this year compared to last year? You look at his strikeout to walk ratio. Last year is under 2. It was 1.92. This year, strikeout to walks 275. You know, so he's limited the walks. He's been able to strike out more hitters.
4 strikes, 2 walks today. 4 strikeouts, 2 walks today. 2 balls and a strike. Both Masterson and Verlander have just been a little off with regards to getting ahead and pounding the strike zone. Hard to say if Brian Gorman's been a little stingy. Back out of play, it's 2-2.
Boy, he came in with a good pitch there. 2-1, he elevated this pitch. Now, Avila is a good low ball hitter. We've seen him hit pitches down in the zone, and he can elevate it. Now, Masterson goes right there above the belt. You see that little swing that most left-handers have, that a slight uppercut. The best they can do with that pitch right there is probably foul it off. It's awfully tough to get on top of it, especially when your swing has an uppercut to it like a lot of left-handers do.
In the air, right field, Fukudome into the gap. Will make the catch. Tagging and coming home is Cabrera. Tagging and going to third is Victor Martinez. 2 down. Tigers are on the board. Indians' lead is now cut in half at 2-1 as Alex Avila picks up his 69th run batted in on the year.
Well, the Tigers lead the league in sacrifice flies. That is their 53rd. So you get that man in scoring position. They've got the hitters that are veteran enough to look for a ball to elevate. So they are on the board.
Wilson Betemeet socks one into right field. That's going to get down and go to the fence. Tigers tie the game. Betemeet on his way to second.
Big 2-out base hit, something the Tigers have done well in the series. So a 2-out double. Betemeet is 21st. Ties this ball game at 2. 3 hits in the inning. And that's one of the few strikes. That was inside. I mean, he's been going in there off the plate today. That one was on the corner. He took advantage of it. Able to keep it fair.
So a couple extra base hits in the inning. Don Kelly bounced out to first his first time up, but it was a terrific at-bat. Smashed foul.
Send along a couple of birthday wishes this afternoon. Karen Delgado of Illyria is turning 63, and Sherry Stinger is 47 today. So happy birthday to you both.
Alex Albaugh is 18 in Denison, Ohio today. Lynn Tell is celebrating her 69th birthday in Dover. Popped in the air, shallow left. In comes Trevor Crow. That'll end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Tigers come back to tie it up at 2. Tied up at 2 apiece. As Dribble Cabrera, Carlos Santana, and Jim Thome for the Indians.
Well, let's see if the 2 runs give Verlander a little spark here. You know, he's been hit or miss, but he's settled down last inning, punched out 2 out of the 3.
And a breaking ball in there, strike 2.
Yeah, you want to try and get him back out of the stretch as quickly as possible.
Tied him up with a fastball inside. Went back in there again. Cabrera able to foul it back.
You know, I would think playing defense behind Verlander sometimes could be tough because he throws a lot of pitches, and very few of them are put into play. You know, they swing and miss. He has 28 strikeouts, and sometimes you're not expecting the ball put in play. That's an error on that fan right there. That's right. That's an E. Had it.
Well, he's
hurt his hand and lost the ball. Now he's got a story to tell.
Missed it by that much. Here's the 1-2. And he waves at it. 5 strikeouts for Verlander, 1 down here in the 4th.
Well, enjoy a day or night at the ballpark with family and friends with the KeyBank Grand Slam 4-pack. Get 4 tickets, food, 4 Indians caps, and a parking. Everything you need in one easy, affordable package. Visit Indians.com.
Here is Carlos Santana. He walked and came around to score on the 2-run homer hit by Shelley Duncan in the 2nd inning. Verlander with the 0-1, and that's down too low. 60 pitches so far for Verlander, 38 for strikes. And a big curveball missing. Boy, there's that changeup, and that's been a pitch that I don't recall him throwing it in the past as much as we've seen it at devastating use this year.
Well, you know why? Because now he doesn't have his fastball today, so there's a fastball count to a fastball hitter, and he throws the changeup. You know, he has a slider. I haven't seen it yet, and now you go to the breaking ball. That's what makes this guy so good. You have to respect the 95, 96, which he really hasn't cut loose yet today. But you can't protect against the 85 and then the 80-mile-an-hour curveball. And as I mentioned, he also has added a slider. It's unbelievable. As a hitter, you've got so much going through your mind, but you can't get off his fastball.
Here's Jim Thome. Thome barreled a ball up his first time up, but he lined it to center field where Austin Jackson was able to run it down.
He's had better command with his secondary pitches today.
Thome drives one the other way this time. Deep left center. It is off the fence. And Thome going into second base, sliding with a 2-out double. 14th two-bagger of the year for Jim Thome. And the Indians have the go-ahead run in scoring position now with 2 down in the 4th.
Now there's Jimmy going the other way. Career double number 442. They want to go inside, 96 mile an hour. And he gets it inside, and he just shoots it the other way. How about that? Halfway up the wall and left. Jackson played it well.
Shelley Duncan, the 2-run homer, his last time up. Fastball and a strike right at the top of the strike zone. And he threw it by.
That's probably his best fastball today.
He reached back a little bit that time.
That was at 96. That was his best fastball this afternoon. And he challenged him right there. So let's go. Now, Shelley fouled off a 94 in his last at-bat and pulled it foul, and then he saw a hook. But he challenged him right there.
That fastball hit high in the air, deep left field. It is gone. Shelley Duncan does it again. A 2-out, 2-run homer to the porch. And the Indians go back in front 4-2. That one got up to 97 miles an hour, but he could not get it past him.
I don't know how he got on top of that ball. Matt, I'll tell you what, he was looking for it, and he turned a dial up on that side. And this is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it, because when you can turn it up for a 97, it's out of the zone. He was able to stay and still get a little uppercut, but hit it solidly. Oh, boy. Verlander was just looking for another baseball. Watch him. As soon as it goes, give me the ball. Give me the ball. Let's go. I know it's gone. 4-2 lead. Duncan has driven all four in. This is his second time in a week he's had 2 homers in a game. I'll tell you what, that was impressive right there.
Yes, it was, because as we had just talked about, he threw him by him at 96 miles an hour in a previous pitch.
He was down in the count 0-2. He tried to waste one. Let me go with 97. See, he's not going to catch this, but he did.
Like you, I thought he was going to see a bouncing curveball, one in the dirt.
Well, I think before he got to that pitch, he wanted to show him something upstairs. He did.
Yeah,
but he climbed up the ladder and hit it out of here. That was impressive.
He went up the stairs, and Duncan showed him the door. Chisenhall, big swing, came up empty. Now Verlander with a 2-2 to Chisenhall. And that's flared left field near the line foul. We're in the 4th inning, and the Indians are on top 4-2 thanks to Shelley Duncan. 2 2-run homers.
Well, on that 0-2 pitch, hitters were 9 for 89 with him coming into that at-bat with no home runs. And Duncan had turned that all around.
There's a high pop to right. Don Kelly is under it, and that'll end the inning. 4 complete. It's Shelley Duncan 4 and the Detroit Tigers 2.
Proud to fly the Cleveland Indians. By Panini's. Like Panini's franchise group on Facebook for your chance to win giveaways and prizes. And by Wayside Furniture in Akron. Better price furniture, lower.
Four-two Tribe as we go to the fifth. Ramon Santiago leading it off. Justin Masterson delivers and a base hit to center field for Santiago.
Well, he's been on both times today. That second time through, they were able to get 4 hits off Justin, 4 for 8. They had the sacrifice fly mixed in there, and they're starting to get the ball elevated, it seems like Justin is. They had the 2 fly ball outs in the last inning. First 3 innings, they didn't even put one in the air.
A couple of day games, most of the action in baseball coming up later this evening. As you see our scoreboard update brought to you by your Northern Ohio Ford dealers and the all-new 2012 Ford Focus. Ford, drive one. Straightened them up. Two balls, no strikes. Will Rhymes waits on deck. Lays that one in there to get back in the count.
Yeah, the first 2 times up, he didn't miss the strike zone with Jackson up at the plate. His third time fell behind 3-0.
80th pitch of the day. It's drilled to right center. Fukudome closes the gap and makes a nice running catch. 1 down.
This ball looked like it may fall in there, but no. In comes Fukudome from right. Able to make a waist-high catch for out number 1.
We got action. Action on the warning track.
Watch that. That ball boy sitting down there. He's got his head turned. He's watching that thing, so don't hit a foul ball down the right field line.
Hit deep to center. Carrera racing back. Can't get it. And it goes over the fence for a ground rule double. So Santiago will stop at third.
Well, Carrera made the long trek and the long run to get there. I thought he had a beat on it. I thought he was going to catch it. It just bounces. I don't know if it went over his glove or not, but it hits the track and bounces over the fence for a ground rule double. Another pitch elevated in the zone. Now watch Carrera. He had a long way to go. He was right on it. Reaches up, and it's just over his glove. Bounces off the track and into the bullpen. So back come the Tigers, second and third. That's the 5th hit for Detroit. And their 3rd double of the afternoon.
Andy Dirks 0 for 2. Outside, ball 1. Time called.
That's 8 straight balls that's been hit in the air, so Justin's got to get the ball down in the zone. He's starting to elevate it. And Detroit taking advantage of it.
And he went around. Dirks couldn't help himself. Fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ramon Santiago at third with Will Rhymes at second. Rhymes the tying run. Masterson's with the 2-2. Threw it by him. 5th strikeout of the day. 2 down here in the 5th.
Well, now a chance to get out of it, but he's going to have one tough out here. Gets a big strikeout here where they can keep the runners at second and third. He elevated it. He swings over underneath it and gets his 5th strikeout. Second time he's been able to get Dirks today. Now comes the tough out.
Miguel Cabrera with first base open-minded, but then you've got Victor Martinez on deck. He went around, I do believe. No! Are you kidding me? First base umpire Tony Randazzo saying that Cabrera did not offer. First of all, what was wrong with the pitch?
How about the hitter saying ask? I've never seen a hitter appeal on himself.
2-1 to count. Down and in, 3 balls and a strike.
Boy, if you go at him here, go at him hard. I think I want to see something moving in on his hands.
Bases are loaded with 2 down. Victor Martinez will be the batter. Martinez doubled to left his last time up. Tim Belcher's going to go out for a chat as they try to sort things out. Had a birthday wish. Want to send out. Here's somebody you'll remember from days gone by. Bob Sudik.
Yeah, an old writer.
78th birthday from the old Cleveland Press. He's
No
actually
kidding.
here at the ball game today.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Boy, I haven't seen him in years.
Did he say nice things about you? Or?
I can't remember.
Who's the guy who was always trading you? Tommy's always saying.
No, I don't know who. Nobody. Nobody had me traded. It's not like today, I'll tell you that.
No, not even close.
Well, Tim Belcher had his say, and hopefully Masterson can come out. This is the guy that has been the thorn in the Indian side all series. He set up the 4th inning with a 1-out double. He get the 3-run homer in game 1. He got him rolling yesterday with a 2-run single in the 1st, and has a chance to at least tie this ball game up with a base hit.
Two down and the bases loaded. Here in the 5th inning, 4-2 Cleveland. Victor Martinez awaits the pitch. And Masterson with a fastball, strike 1. Justin's already at 92 pitches on the day. Liner to second, caught by Donald. That'll end the inning. Tigers leave them loaded. We're halfway home, 4-2 Cleveland. The grounds crew, they tried to corral the squirrel in between innings, but the squirrel won. He's still out there.
Oh, he's too quick. Day game after a night game, a ground crew, they're not ready.
They're no match.
No. They need more than a grounds crew. They need a net, helicopter, and everything to catch him.
Jason Donald, Trevor Crow, and Ezekiel Carrera for the Indians here in the home half of the fifth.
Those guys are probably feeding him seeds anyway. That's why the thing's not going anywhere. Look at him. Look at all the seeds out there. They're giving him sunflower seeds. He's eating well. That's steak and lobster for him.
Steak and lobster.
There it is.
Well,
he has his choice.
He didn't like their steak and lobster. He's
going for a little chew now, and then he's going to go get some bubble gum.
Headed for the Indians bullpen. He's going to see what they're serving up. Verlander with a 1-2. Donald shoots it foul the other way. This next pitch will be number 80 for the Tigers right-hander. Here is the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and that is 7 strikeouts for Justin Verlander. And we've got one out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. All right, here's our game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Shelley Duncan with a 2-run homer in the second gave the Tribe a 2-0 lead. Wilson Bedamy helped the Tigers score a pair to come back and tie it, and then Duncan again. A 2-run drive to put the Indians back on top. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com. Right back to the mound. 2 quick outs. Ezequiel Carrera 0 for 2, couple of strikeouts. Two balls, no strikes. That's down low again, 3-1 the count. And the pitch. Carrera rolls it to short. And Santiago throws him out. Indians go 1-2-3. We go to the 6th. 4-2 Cleveland. Restaurant to pick up your Wahoo Bucks $5 discount coupons for the Subway Extreme Fan Zone. It's the place to be for a chance to win Subway gift cards, Indians fun money, and you'll get great discounts on your next Subway purchase. Subway, where winners eat. Is that Vinny Pistano?
That's 3 points. He got him through the uprights there.
He just scared him off the field.
Maybe threw a heater at him.
That's what I mean. Alex Avila will lead off here for Detroit. Indians bullpen may get busy in a hurry here as a base hit goes into left field for Avila.
Second straight inning, they've had the leadoff man aboard now. Villa goes the other way. It's not a bad pitch inside. Look at, they stroke it that way and take it the other way. That's a pretty good at bat there for Avila. The Tigers with 6 hits. They have left 6 stranded. The Indians 3 hits, 2 of them home runs, and that's how you have to do the damage.
Rafael Perez is going to get up and get loose in the Indians bullpen. Better meet, swing and a miss, and the count evens at 1-1. In the Indians bullpen, they were trying to corral the squirrel. Watch the squirrel. He gets up on the top of the fence. Now watch him take off here. And then Rocky the flying squirrel.
Going to the trees, man. Nice hands. Wow.
That's an athletic squirrel. A ball and 2 strikes. Way outside to even the count. The Yankees and Orioles tied 2-2 there in the second in New York. Tampa Bay on top of Texas 2-0 in the second. He is out looking. Brian Gorman rings up Wilson Betemit, and that's a half dozen Ks for Justin Masterson here this afternoon.
Well, Betemit got him on the inside corner last time, but this one comes back and it's right there, almost the same pitch that he hit. I don't know if he was looking for something else, but Masterson, strikeout number 6.
And that brings up Don Kelly, 0 for 2. And Justin with an off-speed pitch in there to get ahead. Back over the screen. Indians head out to Chicago after this series finale with Detroit. And a 4-game series with the White Sox gets underway tomorrow night. Oh-2 pitch again, fouled back. We'll actually beat Chicago to the Windy City. They're in Minnesota for a 8:10 Eastern Time start tonight against the Twins. Up high. White Sox, after getting pounded by Detroit, have bounced back to win 3 in a row.
That away, the man in blue stopped, got his hand on the ball, made the play. Very nice. It hurt, but nice play. Stay in front of it. He's not allowed to rub it, though.
Here's the 1-2. In the air, right field. Fukudome makes the catch, 2 down.
Well, Justin Masterson this afternoon, he elevated the fastball. He has 1 on a slider. There's 2 on the slider. The other, no, there's a nice little 2-seamer, a knife that went down. There's the 4-seamer and another fastball. So out of his 6 strikeouts, a couple of sliders, a sinker, and 3 4-seamers.
5 of the 6, as you saw there, swinging strikeouts. Donald throws out Santiago. And Justin Masterson, in what might be his final inning of the day, finishing strong. 4-2 Indians, bottom of the 6th inning. Kosuke Fukudome as Dribble Cabrera and Carlos Santana. Fukudome 0 for 2. He has flied to left, flied to center. 3 for 10 in the series with 2 home runs. One and one the count. One and two the count on Fukudome. '90th pitch of the day for Verlander is in the dirt. And it'll even things up. Now the 2-2. Fouled away. Want to send out special happy birthday wishes today to Kaylee Burke in Frederick, Maryland, celebrating her 10th birthday
Happy
today.
birthday, Kaylee. And hi to Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
And the rest of the family.
Dad drove all the way to Columbus to watch the Buckeyes last weekend.
Shocker.
The 2-2. Rick, I think Justin Masterson's going to come back out for the 7th inning. He's over 100 pitches, but Rafael Perez had been warming. He sat down, and
well, he got the top of the lineup.
He's still got the game glare going on in the dugout.
Good.
Yeah, you can tell just by looking at him. He's still in this game. So far today, it's been the Duncan and Justin show. Shelley Duncan with 2 two-run homers. And Justin Masterson has limited the Tigers to just 2 runs in 6 innings of work. Now the 2-2 to Fukudome. And now he's giving Verlander a run for his money.
Yeah, fouled off the curveball, fastball, everything he's thrown up there. Haven't seen him throw a changeup yet, though.
Well, this is the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up right here. And it missed. Full count. Here's the payoff pitch. Out of play.
This is a good at-bat by Fukudome.
This will be pitch number 11 coming up here. He's forcing Verlander to empty his bag of tricks. Little chopper, though, to short. Santiago, off-balance throw, gets him. 1 down. Get the answer to our AT&T trivia question. Since 2000, 3 pitchers have led their league in wins, ERA, and strikeouts. Who are they?
Well, Randy Johnson has to be one, I think. Santana and Peavy.
Here's Dribble Cabrera, popping it back out of play. He is 0 for 2, a couple of strikeouts today, just 1 for 10 in the series. Next pitch will be number 100 now today for Verlander. One ball and 2 strikes. Popped him up. Third baseman Wilson Betemit. 2 away. Sunday Strategy presented by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care returns tomorrow night at 7. Andre Knott, Doug Deacon, Tony Grossi. They'll get you ready for the home opener between the Browns and the Bengals. Sunday Strategy tomorrow night at 7. Right here on STO. Carlos Santana walked and scored in the second inning, struck out his last time up. Detroit will go home for an off day, and then they'll welcome in Minnesota for 3, then the White Sox for 3. Actually, they'll go to Chicago to play the White Sox, and then all the way to the West Coast to play Oakland for 4, before going to Kansas City for 2, and then they return home to finish the season. 4 at home against Baltimore, and the Indians come in to wrap it up. So outside of their Central Division opponents, it's not exactly a daunting schedule for the Tigers the rest of the way. In the dirt, a full count. Already 20 pitches in the inning for Verlander, and this is just the third batter he's faced, but they've made him work. With activity in the Tiger bullpen, you could probably speculate that this will be the last inning for Verlander. Because while the Indians haven't exactly lit him up, he's had to work hard today. 1 on, 2 out. Jim Thome coming to the plate. And just a fine mist falling here at Progressive Field. Right-hander Ryan Perry looks like he's ready in the pen. And Jim Leyland going to stick with his ace.
This will probably be his last hitter then, because the guy on deck has had some kind of afternoon.
Thome takes a strike. Jimmy doubled off the wall and left his last time up. He also lined out the center back in the second inning, so he's had 2 good at-bats against Verlander.
And the Indians still with just 3 base hits, all extra base hits. The two-run homers by Shelley Duncan and the double by Jim Thome. A 2-out double that Duncan followed with a 2-run homer to give the Indians a lead.
Yeah, talk about making the most of your opportunities.
That's what you have to do to this guy, because he doesn't give up many hits.
He scored 4 runs on 3 hits.
You know, he's walked 2 and 1 has scored. You know, he's given up 3 hits and 2 of them have been home runs. I mean, that's a formula that it doesn't happen often. And on the home run, the second home run that Shelley Duncan hit came on an 0-2 pitch. You know, they only had, I think it was 6 or 9 base hits on 0-2 counts off him this year. No home runs, and it was the first home run on an 0-2 count he allowed this year.
The only chink in the armor for Verlander is 22 home runs. That's among the league leaders in homers allowed this year.
Well, as much as he's around the plate. You know, he has 51 walks. He has 231 strikeouts.
Verlander and Brad Penny and James Shields have all allowed 22 homers. Runner goes. Santana takes off. The pitch is down low, and it's a full count. Stolen base for Santana, his 5th. Colby Lewis has allowed the most, 32 bombs allowed by Lewis, but down in Texas, that's understandable. A.J. Burnett's given up 26. Max Scherzer of Detroit has given up 25. And then Josh Tomlin, Jeremy Guthrie with 24. Verlander delivers. Thome takes strike 3 call. We go to the 7th. Still 4-2 Indians.
Right now, the Indians on top 4-2, hanging out here at the Time Warner Cable Bleachers. You can get tickets for just $10. You're near the home run porch where Shelly Duncan sent a few souvenirs out here. And then we've got a few more fireworks shows before we close out the season. Make sure you're here September 23rd and September 24th. The Indians will be taking on the Twins. Best fireworks show around town. You can get your tickets online right now at Indians.com. Matt, Rick, we'll send it back over to you guys.
Thanks, Katie. Here is Austin Jackson, the leadoff for Detroit. Justin Masterson staying in there, and it's a base hit into right field, just beyond the diving attempt by Jason Donald. Joe Smith going to get up and get loose in the Indians bullpen.
Well, they better do it fast because it's the 3rd straight inning. They've got their leadoff man aboard. They have 5 hits now on the first pitch. They have 1 on the 3rd, 1 on the 4th, so they've been aggressive. When Masterson comes in there with that fastball early, they're ready for it.
Will Rhymes doubled his last time up. Fouled out of play, 1 ball, 1 strike. Rhymes looked like he might have helped him out, chased after 1-2. Smith still a ways away from being ready to go into the game.
Well, he'll be in line with Cabrera coming to the plate. You can bet on that.
First base, it kicks off the glove of Shelly Duncan. He returns the flip to Masterson. And they're saying he missed the bag.
Yeah, his footwork was messed up on the quick throw. He was trying to get there, and that's almost like a timing play. And Masterson, a big guy. And Rhymes was able to beat it out, and it looks like Justin's foot was up in the air. So that play there, that's got to be an error on Duncan. I would think it's right at him. It looked like a double play ball. He didn't field it cleanly, so there's the flip. You see Justin searching for the base. Never really had it. He was looking for the ball, couldn't get there, and the timing was messed up right from the get-go. Missed it when he stepped, and then looked for it. Boy, oh boy, tough break. Tough break right there. Oh, an error on Duncan that gives him a start to this inning, first and second.
Well, here's Andy Dirks, probably in a bunt situation here. Indians will pinch in at the corners. He squares, pulls it back, throw down to second.
Well, this is probably going to be the last hitter for Justin.
Bunted foul.
Dirks on the year does have 2 sacrifices. Well, young hitters, that's what happens when you get young guys that come up to the big leagues. They don't bunt very often in the minor leagues. Now you get up here, you're called to do it. See if he can.
He squares.
He
bunts
does.
it,
And
in
a
good
beauty.
one.
And a beauty.
He didn't get him, and they're loaded. Chisenhall's throw not in time.
Oh, he deadened that ball nicely and then ends up beating it out. Well, I don't know. I'd have to check and look at the replay if Chisenhall was late coming in. Normally, you would look for that pitcher to come up, but Masterson, a big guy, look, he comes in and he deadens the ball, and he just took his time, and he ends up beating it out. You can see there's a single. Now the bases are loaded, and it's too bad because that's going to end Masterson's day. The error, then an infield bunt single in a sacrifice situation, and the Tigers have this inning set up.
So Masterson departs, and a 4-2 Indians lead in jeopardy here in the 7th. The call to the bullpen brought to you by Verizon 4G LTE. Rule the air on the most advanced 4G network in the world. Like Panini's Franchise Group on Facebook for your chance to win giveaways and prizes. Well, Justin Masterson out of the ball game. He can only watch now.
Yeah, unfortunately, he has to leave. He went 6+ innings. He has to leave with the bases loaded. A bad defensive play and then a bunt that They beat out for a base hit, so Smith coming on in a full-blown mess with the bases loaded, nobody out, and you have to face Cabrera and Martinez. This year, righty's hitting 245 off Joe, lefty's hitting 147. But really not a whole lot of room for error here.
Base hit in the left field. One run is in. Rhymes will be held at third. It's a one-run game. Cabrera with RBI number 95 on the year. Base is still loaded and still nobody out.
They come trying to come inside to get him to roll over on that ground ball, and he's ready for it and hits a bullet between short and third. So the third hit in the inning. It's a one-run ball game now. And boy, could they use a double play here.
Victor Martinez, 1 for 3 with a double. You know what we got? We got a pitching change. Tony Sipp, I don't even know if he's loose, but he's coming in. So Joe Smith faces one hitter, gives up the RBI hit to Cabrera, and we've got a timeout. Base is still loaded and with nobody out. Tony Sipp coming on for the Indians. He'll be facing Victor Martinez.
Now I'm going to move Victor to the other side of the plate. It doesn't matter. He's good from both sides. Just you pick your poison right here, and Sipp's going to have to go at him, where Victor's hitting .313 from the right side and 131 at-bats. 2 dingers, 26 ribbies. But first 4 guys of the inning have reached for Detroit. Jackson started with a single, first pitch single, then the error by Duncan, and then the sacrifice bunt turned into a base hit by Dirks because he beat it out. Chisenhall was a little late getting it to first base, and then an RBI single by Cabrera makes it a 4-3 game. Still nobody out, and the bases still loaded.
Tony Sipp ready. He delivers. Martinez with a high fly ball. Deep left field, away back and gone. A grand slam for Victor Martinez. And that strategy went up in smoke.
Well, Victor Martinez, started off with the 3-run homer against them to beat the Indians, and he finished it there with a grand slam. And it gives him a 7-4 lead. And those runs are going to be allowed. Masterson will be on the hook for the loss today. Smith gives up his run. Oh, boy. First pitch. Look at that. Right there. 89-mile-an-hour fastball into the bleachers. So Victor hit his first 3-run homer. And I'm thinking it might be his first slam this year.
Yep. It's only the second in his career. Alex Avila. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, what a series Martinez has had. 10 runs batted in against his former club.
Well, that's what they chose to do, move over to the right side of the plate, and it doesn't matter the way he's swinging the bat. And Detroit coming back, they've got a 5 spot on the board in the 7th, and this is where the Indians have been able to outscore the Tigers as late in the ball game, but boy, oh boy, it was in a hurry today.
That's kind of been their MO in this series. Martinez hit the 3-run homer. 1 swing of the bat got him in the opener. Yesterday it was a 5-run first inning. It all happened after there were 2 outs and the bases empty, and it was 6 straight 2-out hits. All singles by the Tigers, but it happened in a hurry. And again here this afternoon, 5 runs in the blink of an eye as the first 5 all reach, all score for the Tigers in the inning. And another terrific pitching performance by Justin Masterson spoiled. Avila swats one into left center field. Trevor Crowe, a diving attempt, and makes a terrific catch. Beautiful catch by Trevor Crowe to take extra bases away from Alex Avila. And that's the first out in the inning. He had to leave his feet.
Well, it was a fine running catch. Look at Crowe. He's going to be extended and flat out extension. Able to hold on. You can see that ball. He picks it up and shows the umpire. First out of the inning.
Wilson Betemit 1 for 3 on the day. Over the outside corner for a strike. And the 2-1 pitch is swung on and missed to even the count. That's outside, full count. On a day when Tigers ace Justin Verlander did not have his quote-unquote best stuff, the Detroit offense has come to the rescue here in the 7th inning. Tony Sipp walks Betamit. There's the 3-run homer in the series opener. That was all Detroit needed. Last night, a 2-out, 2-run single in the 1st inning. And a grand slam here this afternoon.
Boy, the middle part of the lineup, you look at A and Cabrera. They have done some damage, and that's a lethal 1-2 punch. Middle part of the lineup. But Victor comes back to haunt his whole team.
Don Kelly 0 for 3. No balls, 2 strikes. Strikes out Kelly, 2 down. And that's going to bring up Ramon Santiago, who is 1 for 2 with a walk and a single today. Sipp with a breaking ball in there for strike 1. Runs it up high. That's high as well. 2 balls and a strike. Fouled back. 2-2. Joe Smith came on in relief of Justin Masterson with the bases loaded and nobody out. And Miguel Cabrera promptly singled in a run into left field. And Maniacta quickly made the move to Tony Sipp, who had just gotten up to get loose. And on the first pitch he threw, Victor Martinez knocked it out of here for a grand slam. That'll end the inning. But the Tribe now trailing at 7-4. Cleveland Clinic's 7th inning stretch. Time to get up and let's move it. Furniture, home of Sealy's Posturepedic mattress, made in Northeast Ohio. And by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers. It's time to join the Hyundai movement. (7-4) Detroit as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Ryan Perry coming on now out of the Tiger bullpen. Brandon Inge takes over at third. Danny Worth takes over at second. Shelley Duncan, Lonnie Chisenhall, and Jason Donald due up for the Indians.
Verlander, 6 innings. Only gave up 3 hits, but 2 of them were 2-run homers. And then the double to Tomey. Struck out 8, walked 2. But is in line for the W today unless the Indians offense can come back and try and answer that 5-run 7th.
One ball, one strike. 7 runs on 10 hits for Detroit. 4 runs, 3 hits for the Indians. Shelley Duncan continues his hot hitting day at the plate. 2 homers and now a single to lead off the bottom of the 7th.
Well, he certainly has been ready today, hasn't he, offensively? He picks on a breaking ball here and finds a hole between short and third. He has 3 of the 4 Indians hits today, and that is their first single.
Well, coming in, you kind of had the feeling this was a game you were going to have to try to win, maybe 2-1, 3-2, 4-2. 8-7 might be asking a lot, but the Indians are still alive as the Tigers go back to their bullpen. Detroit on top 7-4. Indians with their leadoff man aboard, and the Tigers go right back to their bullpen. Ryan Perry faced 1 hitter, gave up a single, and Jim Leland all of a sudden yanked him out of the game and goes to his left-hander Phil Koch.
Well, and Phil Koch, a guy that came into yesterday's ball game and had the strikeout pitch working. He had 4 punchies yesterday in an inning and 2/3.
Chisenhall takes a ball up high. Baltimore leads New York 4-2. They're in the 4th inning in the Bronx. Tampa Bay has come back to take a 3-2 lead over Texas. Angels beaten by Seattle last night. They're 3.5 games behind the Rangers in the West. Here's the 1-1. Chisenhall hammers it deep right field. Gone. Lonnie Chisenhall with a laser down the right field line. Another 2-run homer for the Tribe. And just like that, it's a 1-run game.
Boy, they needed that spark right there. Koch hung a breaking ball and Chisenhall drilled it. I mean, he hit it so hard it didn't have time to hook.
Well, so far neither manager has gotten the relief he was looking for from his bullpen.
That's his 4th homer on the year. Look at that breaking ball, stayed right on the middle inside part of the plate, and Chisenhall turns on it. And look at that, straight down the line, looked like a 2-iron. Indians down 1 now, 7-6, and right back. They answered that 5-run inning. Third home run of the afternoon. All 2-run homers for the Indians, which is a good thing.
Jason Donald 0 for 2. And he lines a base hit into right center field. So 3 straight hits to open the bottom of the 7th for Cleveland, and they're coming right back at him. Tying run aboard with nobody out. And Trevor Crowe coming to the plate.
Three straight hits for the Indians. They have 6 now.
Crowe shortened the bunt, pulled it back as the pitch was outside. Brandon Inge in on the grass at third. Now we got time. A ball got loose in the outfield. Don Kelly came running in to grab it, but he couldn't get the umpire's attention to call time. So then he turned it up and started backpedaling into right field, and somebody finally alerted the umpire. All right, so now we're ready to go. Crowe squares. Took it for a strike, 1-1. Bounce to first. Cabrera goes to second. They get the out there, and they turn 2. Unbelievable. They let him swing away, and he hits into a double play. 2 down. Base is empty now.
Well, an easy play for Cabrera if you just make a good throw. And he does. He's right there. He didn't have to move, and so he's right there at first base. Gets it over to Santiago, who in turn gets it over to beat Trevor Crowe at first base. And it is a double play.
Ezequiel Carrera 0 for 3. Couple of strikeouts on the day. Rafael Perez loosening in the Tribe bullpen. Little weak chopper to short. Santiago flips it over, and we'll go to the 8th. Drive within a run thanks to Lonnie Chisenhall's 2-run blast. 7-6 Detroit.
Not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
High school football returns to STO Friday night. Tony Rizzo and Frank Stams will have the action when Ignatius takes on Mentor. It's the Notre Dame College High School Game of the Week. Friday night following Indians White Sox right here on STO. Rafael Perez for the 64th time this year. 5 up, 2 down, 2.83 ERA. He has struck out 33, walked 17, and 57 1/3 innings of work. He'll face the top of the order for Detroit here in the 8th.
Yeah, they batted around in the last inning. The first 5 men reaching, all coming around to score in that inning.
Austin Jackson 1 for 4 and 2 for 14 in the series. Sky high pop, shallow right, Fukudome. 1 down. Box score brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers, introducing the Hyundai Assurance Trade-in Value Guarantee. Oh, Victor Martinez, the grand slam. That is the big blow in this game. Will Rhymes doubled in the 5th. Danny Worth replaced Rhymes defensively last inning, getting his first at bat of the day. There's Rhymes. Carrera coming in, can't get to it. And a base hit for Danny Worth. Here's our Miller Chase greatness moment on this date in 1993. Our old buddy hard-hitting Mark Whitten had a doubleheader to remember down in Cincinnati.
Boy, did he ever. 4 homers, 12 ribbies. Yeah, I'll take a curtain call. Look at that. No doubt about it, man. That's a day. That's one of the best days in baseball history right there as an offensive player.
It's a month for a lot of guys.
Whew. Talk about being in the zone for one day. That's about as good as you can do.
Ryan Rayburn going to bat for Andy Dirks. And he skies the first pitch into right field. 2 down. And we've got a timeout as Matty Act is going to go back to his bullpen. We got a right-hander coming on to face Miguel Cabrera when we come back. Runner at first with 2 down in the 8th. Tribe down 7-6. Miguel Cabrera will be the batter, and Vinny Pistano is coming on for the Indians. 60th appearance for the Indians right-hander. A win, a loss, ERA 2.32. 74 strikeouts and 54 innings of work.
Very impressive, isn't it? 74 punch-outs in 54 in the 3rd inning. That is very impressive. Right now, the Indians trying to keep it a 1-run ball game. And with 2 outs, you want to get this guy out because you certainly do not want to bring Victor Martinez up. The damage he has done in this series.
Swung out and missed. Cabrera cuts after the fastball. 2 hits today, 5 in the series. And late again on the fastball. It's 0-2. Did he hurt himself? Is he just adjusting the batting glove? I guess it's
I
just
think
a batting glove.
yeah, I think he says I'm going to swing no matter what the first 2 pitches, and that it looked like it had a little movement to it. I don't know if there were strikes, but there were certainly pitches for him that he chased after.
High in the air to right, Fukudome onto the warning track, makes the catch. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, 7-6 Detroit. Seven 6 Tigers. On to the bottom of the 8th inning. Detroit once again goes back to their bullpen. Right-hander Joaquin Benoit will come on now. 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up for the Tribe. Defensively now for Detroit, Ryan Rayburn has come into the ballgame in left field. Fukudome, Cabrera, Santana due up for the Indians. Ball one, a little bit outside. Benoit has struck out 15 in his last 14 appearances and has not allowed a run in 14 2/3 innings.
Well, this guy, you know, after signing a pretty big deal for the Tigers early in the year, got off to a slow start, but has really settled in.
One and two the count for Fukudome. Yeah, he's only given up 7 earned runs in his last 42 games.
Yeah, that covers, I think, since May, when he started to lock it down and become the setup man they thought he was going to be after the year he had last year in Tampa.
Fukunome rolls one right at the second baseman Worth. One away. That'll bring up Asdrubal Cabrera, 0 for 3 here today. Yankees and Orioles tied at 4 in the 5th in New York. Tampa Bay leading Texas 3-2 there in the 5th down in St. Pete. Everything else in baseball coming up later on. Here the Indians are down to their last 5 outs. Down a run. Back out of play. Benoit ready now with a 1-2. Down in the dirt. Evens things up. Outside, full count. Cabrera gets aboard, then Carlos Santana will be at the plate. The payoff pitch. Strikes him out. 2 down.
Elevated the fastball here on a full count. He did get a piece of it. Goes right into the glove of Avila. There it is, above the belt. And Cabrera swings through it. Second out of the inning. 9th strikeout for Tiger pitching.
Carlos Santana has walked twice and scored a run. Foul right back. Santana now with 85 walks on the season. That's 4th best in the American League, 2 behind Nick Swisher of the Yankees for 3rd.
Boy, he had a fastball to hit there and fouled it straight back off the mask of Brian Gorman.
Jose Bautista leads the league with 110 walks. Not surprising with all the bombs he hits. And Miguel Cabrera at second came into today's game with 92 walks on the year, and he has one more to add to that total. Now the 0-1 to Santana. No balls, 2 strikes. Splitter in the dirt. Two down, base is empty. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count for Carlos Santana. And he strikes him out. Indians go 1, 2, 3. And we'll go to the ninth. 7-6 Detroit. Vinny Pastano got the last out in the 8th. We'll stay on to pitch the 9th, facing Victor Martinez, Alex Avila, and Brandon Inge. At the knees for a strike to Victor Martinez. Victor has had a monster series, as you can see there. Routine bouncer to second base. And that's out number 1 here in the 9th. Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care postgame show comes your way after the ball game. Conrad's, home of the lowest everyday tire price guarantee. Alex Avila, 1 for 3. Drove in a run with a sac fly in the 4th. He had a base hit in the 6th. Robbed of extra bags in the 7th on a spectacular diving catch in left center field by Trevor Crowe. Just 2 hits in the series for Avila, and he's a guy that certainly has done a lot of damage this year. .299 average, 17 home runs, 69 runs batted in. He has been the primary everyday catcher with Victor Martinez.
Right.
Been banged up. He had the groin injury early in the season. He had the knee injury most recently. And still, when you watch him run, he's not back to 100% yet. But Avila has been able to do all the squatting and take all the reps.
He's carried the burden, hasn't he? You get deep into the year, and this kid is he's really had a fine year all the way around.
Missed outside, 2-1. Up high with it, 3 balls and a strike. Full count. Brandon Inge waiting in the on-deck circle. Vinny Pastano ready with a 3-2 pitch. And that's bang foul.
Well, and you see the respect. He doesn't go right at him with a fastball 3-2. He tries to throw him that slider. And he's able to foul off, stay alive.
Again, the 3-2. And that's hit to left. Crow racing back on the track at the wall. He hammers himself into that fence. Can't come up with the ball. And into second base with a double is Alex Avila. So Trevor Crow just activated from the DL today for the ball game. He made a diving catch in left center and slams into the wall on that play right there.
He comes back with another slider, but look at, he stays on it. Alex Avila, good power the other way, and that was slicing away from Crow as he's going right into where it cuts and just couldn't get there, maybe about a step off. He reaches for it. It just gets off the wall. He's doing a face plant in there. That'll be a double for Avila.
Now Brandon Inge gets his first at bat of the day. Takes the ball up high. Two and 0 the count. And the 2-0. Threw it by him. Good pitch. Pastano delivers, and it's popped up. As Drupal Cabrera, the shortstop, takes care of that. 2 down. Now Don Kelly. His 5th at bat of the day. He's 0 for 4 and 2 for 9 in the series. Bruce Drennan will follow the ball game with another installment of All Bets Are Off. They'll be taking your calls and emails. Lexus Berea report comes your way later tonight at 9, and Chuck's last call follows at 10. On STO here this evening. Then Rick and I are back with you tomorrow night for Indians White Sox.
Yeah, that ball game, David Huff will be facing Gavin Floyd in game number 1 of a 4-game series.
Two balls and a strike. Drilled deep to right. Back goes Fukudome. It's over his head and off the top of the fence. Scoring is Avila. Around second, on his way to third is Kelly. Donald's relay not in time. He actually held on to it anyway. And Don Kelly with a 2-out RBI triple gives the Tigers a big insurance run. It's now 8-6 Detroit.
This ball came close to getting out of here. Pastana comes back and just went right at him. There's a fastball right down Broadway at 90 miles an hour. And Fukudome goes back, and you can see about 3 feet away from getting out of the ballpark. Kelly cruising around second, gets all the way to third. In comes Avila. And it is now an 8-6 ball game. For Kelly, his 18th ribby and his third triple of the year.
Santiago looks at a ball down low. Ramon Santiago 1 for 3 with a single and a walk. Jose Valverde, who has been perfect in the save category this year. Three balls, no strikes. That's ball 4. 2 on, 2 out. Austin Jackson. Austin Jackson up for the 6th time here today. The 0-1 swung on and missed, threw it by him upstairs. 0-2 the count. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and we'll go to the bottom of the ninth. Tribe down 8-6. Been a cloudy, gray, and sometimes wet day in downtown Cleveland. And the Indians down 8-6 as we go to the bottom half of the ninth inning. Right-hander Jose Valverde trying to keep his mark perfect on the year. 41 for 41 in save situations. He'll be trying to nail it down here, facing Jim Thome, Shelley Duncan, and Lonnie Chisenhall.
53 strikeouts in his 60 and a third. The Indians had him on the hook in Detroit. Had a chance to stop that streak. They just didn't do it. Man was thrown out at home plate. Was Fukudome, as a matter of fact, thrown out to end the game. It was a Marson fly ball to center. In comes Austin Jackson and the relay throw to tie the game, and the throw in time. Nice tag by Avila. That ended the ball game, kept his streak going, and it pumped him up. Well, we'll see if they have anything to off from this afternoon in an 8-6 ball game.
Jim Thome 1 for 3, doubled and scored in the fourth. Back out of play. Thome down to the count 0-2. And a big bouncer. That's the shortstop, Santiago, who throws him out, one away. Got to bring up Shelley Duncan. He's had a big day. 3 for 3 and a pair of 2-run homers. Swung on and missed, and the count is 0-2. Two-strike pitch. Shot for the corner and missed out there. Valverde ready with a 1-2. And he strikes him out. 2 down. It's going to bring up Lonnie Chisenhall. Lonnie hit a 2-run homer his last time up. Valverde delivers. And a first pitch strike. Ground ball, backhanded by Cabrera. And the Detroit Tigers complete the sweep. They've won 7 straight against the Indians, 6 straight overall, 10 of their last 13. Detroit is now 81-62 on the year. The Indians fall back to 500 at 70-70. Winning pitcher is Justin Verlander. He's now 22-5. Valverde with his 42nd save. Another tough luck loss for Justin Masterson. He drops to 11-9 on the year. Time now for our play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank. Thanks for making KeyBank the #1 bank in Northeast Ohio.
Well, that 7th inning did the Indians in, and one guy, a former Indian, was the culprit. Victor Martinez, a grand slam to give the Tigers a lead off Tony Sipp's first pitch. And boy, what a series he had. Beat him in Game 1, started it in Game 2, and finished it in Game 3. So that is going to be our KeyBank key play of the game.
Well, we'll be back with the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care post-game show. That's coming your way next.